Hey, what's going on? What's going on, CoinOpTV subscribers? Robert Welkney here. We're going to be talking about the Disney movies that are coming out for 2017. This includes the animated movies, the Disney Pixar, the Star Wars, and of course the Marvel movies that are coming down the wire. And to join me on the show is Disney Dan himself. Good day to you, sir.
Hello, folks. What's going on?
Good to see you. We're sort of still getting off the rust from 2016 and getting things going into 2017. We're excited to have you around. If you didn't know, Dan, of course, runs a couple of things. He kind of has a couple of websites. I mean, he's mostly known now for the Bricks to Life, I guess.
Yeah, that's one of the big things I do, as well as my Disney Dan YouTube channel, and we still run and maintain DisneyInfinityCodes.com. I got a lot of stuff going on. It never ends.
Yes, and then of course I think your niche is that Disney Crossy Roads. You've really plateaued the YouTube sensation with that.
Yeah, I really enjoy. It's one of my favorite mobile games. It's where it's at. It's where all the fun is.
So I thought it'd be great to have Dan on to help me talk about some of the upcoming Disney movies. Here, I got a little fancy title card here: the Walt Disney Studios 2017 movie slate. And I think this is all that's been announced or we know about. Of course, who knows? Maybe something will sneak down the pipeline. So let's start with Beauty and the Beast. This is coming out March 17. 2017. Emma Watson, Dan Stevens, Luke Evans, Kevin Kline, Josh Gad, Ewan McGregor. The story and characters an audience know and love come to spectacular life in this live-action adaptation of Disney's animated classic Beauty and the Beast, a stunning cinematic event celebrating one of the most beloved tales ever told. So, Dan, what is your hype level for this one here, for Beauty and the Beast coming back in live-action form?
Yeah, so far I've enjoyed all of Disney's live-action films, and so I don't think I have anything negative to say yet. I think that they're making some interesting choices, but it's not me. I try not to judge films until I at least see them. I think that they've made some interesting, and it's hard to transition characters from a film like this into live action without getting some slightly unsettling things like talking clocks and candles and gigantic beasts with horns and stuff like that. But it'll be interesting to see how it transitions, and then it'll be interesting to see how also how it sounds, because it's a musical, and so I don't know the singing pipes of a lot of the people in the movie, particularly like Emma Watson, but we'll see. I know that Josh Gad can sing because he's phenomenal. I know that Ewan McGregor can sing because he's phenomenal. But we'll see how the movie pans out. I think it's definitely an interesting look for. It's different than what they've done so far in transitioning their cartoons into live action. This is a very different animal, so we'll see.
Yeah, we got to see. We had the Golden Globes over the weekend there, and we got to see the new trailer with some Emma Watson sort of singing, kind of a short clip there. I'm not sure I was blown away by her voice or something like that, but it was like a short little teaser. We got a new image, a new poster with a little more of the casts on there.
Very busy poster. I'm not a big fan of the poster, but we don't have to go too deep into it. It's just very, very busy. But again, I'm going to reserve judgment until I get to see it.
Yeah. I mean, so far everything I've seen, it looks like the colors, the tone, the style looks like it's gonna really leap off the screen, right into your visual eye candy sort of thing. But so that looks pretty cool. What do you think of Beast? Some people have sort of criticized that he doesn't look too beast-like. He looks a little too human-like. Do you have I know you're not looking at a picture right in front of you right now, but has he been too humanoid for you?
No, I think that if you make him too scary, if you make him too crazy beast-like, then kids are going to be too afraid to see the movie. So there's got to be some give and take with that. And I'm sure that the way he's presented will probably be interesting in the beginning of the film. And then as he lightens up and becomes more lighthearted, I think that people are going to see past it very quickly in the movie about the fact that he's not some horrifying monster. Again, this isn't a horror film. This is a children's movie about redemption. So I don't think it needs to be some kind of vicious creature.
Maybe Belle will give him like a makeover. He'll start off really beastly, and she'll give him a little makeover or something as the movie goes. So, all right, let's move on to Born in China. I got some graphics here for each of these. Born in China comes out April 21st, 2017. It's a documentary, nature documentary that follows three families of animals in China, and it's narrated by John Krasinski, there of TV fame.
The Office fan. The Office.
Yes, I almost said Office Space. I was like, wait, I know it's one of the Office things. the Office, yes. So here's I have a picture of the Panda family. Have you seen this trailer yet for Born in China at all, Dan?
I haven't. I typically don't bother with Disney nature, like pursuing the trailers and stuff like that. So, but all the Disney nature films have been fantastic. I don't know if I have much to say about it other than I'm sure it'll be a breathtaking film about nature, and Disney does really great things with their documentaries. So I'm interested to see it. I can't wait to see what they do with it.
Yeah, the trailer impressed me a lot. I was like, wow, we're really we're really in lands that we don't really see very often. These remote mountains and landscape and stuff like that. I'm not sure if I'll see this in the theaters or how excited I am for like a theater screening, but definitely when it's on Blu-ray, DVD or something like that, it looks like it might be a treat. So all right, let's move on. Moving right along to Cars 3 from Disney Pixar. Lightning McQueen sets out to prove to a new generation of racers that he's still the best race car in the world. This comes out June 16, 2017. Dan and I were talking a little bit before the show, and I told him, I said, hey, I'm not a big Cars person, big Cars fan. What is your Cars hype status there for yourself?
I really hope that this is going to capture the magic of the first film and not turn it into some kind of worldwide adventure spy film that the second did. I mean, the second did very well, and it's a charming film. It's not Pixar's best, so I'm excited to see them take Back to the Track and have it be like a movie that's about racing and about the integrity behind it and the challenges and the new versus the old and the inexperienced versus the veterans. And so we'll see what comes of it. I'm pretty excited about everything I've seen so far, but Pixar is so secretive about what the film's about and where it's going to go. So this is going to be one of those things where it's going to take to the last minute until we really get to appreciate what the movie is once it's released.
Now, what'd you think of the? We got that first little teaser trailer. It looked just very serious. We got like a car crash and gloomy music and stuff like that. Is this going to be a serious movie?
The first Cars movie was full of a lot of really serious adult themes. Like there was a vicious car crash in the first movie in one of the races, and it's. I think that Pixar films have a lot of adult themes that are then the story is then told in a way that children can appreciate it. So every Pixar film, really, if you look at it, is kind of dark, but in a way that's told to be understanding and acceptable for children.
Yeah, I think maybe it's just like that's the first thing we're seeing. So now we've got to see the lighter side of Cars 3. So it'd be cool. Well, it'd be cool to check out. That I'll definitely, we'll probably try and see that in the theaters because it's cool to have that surround sound, racing noises, and cheering crowd sort of thing there. All right, let's move on to. If I'm going too fast, Dan, just give me a heads up. And say no, wait,
keep going.
Yeah,
keep pushing.
So you just say, like, hey, wait, there's something else I need to say. You just let me know, and I'll cut back to you and stuff. So, all right, so here's one with a lot of mystery. Coco, coming out November 22nd, 2017. The synopsis here is Coco follows a 5-year-old boy named Miguel who sets off a chain of events relating to a century-old mystery leading to an extraordinary family reunion. To my knowledge, is not a trailer for this out. The only thing we have that I've been officially given is a picture of a little boy here with like a guitar. And what do you know so far about Coco?
I really don't know a lot, but what I do know is that I'm really appreciating Disney's push to bring in other cultures in ways that we haven't seen done in children's entertainment a lot. Just like with Moana and the whole Polynesian, like all that, the islanders and their history and their legends and their stories. I really appreciated that, and I thought Moana was a beautiful film. So I'm excited to see a movie done by Pixar that delves deep into the Mexican, history and the Day of the Dead and their family, and their trickster gods and what have you. I really don't know, so I'm excited to have this movie slightly educate me on their beliefs and what their celebrations and their history is all about. And I think I really appreciate that Disney and other movie studios are pushing that and doing that and taking things that are out of the box. Had you ever, I doubt that anyone 15, 20 years ago would have thought that there would have been a Polynesian Disney princess, but now there is one, and it's kind of phenomenal. So I'm super stoked about having a Pixar film that's all about, a little boy journeying to the land of the dead to find, to reunite with his old family. I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, like you said, that was a great point. Moana did an excellent job. One of my favorite movies in 2016, just to bringing in the Polynesian. I mean, I felt like I was swept away to Hawaii and just on the seas, and all the songs were, some of them were in English, some of them weren't, and they were all catchy and visually stunning and stuff like that. So we'll see. Unfortunately, Moana didn't take home the Golden Globe this week, but Zootopia got that. So we'll see how it goes when the Oscar race happens with Moana and stuff. So.
Zootopia was very deserving, so it definitely should have won. It was a fantastic film.
Yes. Now, switching bases, we're going to go into live action. Thor Ragnarok from Marvel Studios, of course, owned by Disney, or Disney involved with that. So this comes out November 3rd, so a little later in the year 2017. Thor must face the Hulk in a gladiator match and save his people from the ruthless Hela. Of course, we're going to get some new faces into the mix here. Benedict Cumberbatch, so we got Doctor Strange. Anthony Hopkins will be back as Odin. So far, we've only been officially given this one picture here with the director, Taika Waititi, and Chris Hemsworth as Thor. And really not much to go on other than seeing sort of the outfit in here. When it comes to Thor, I enjoyed the first Thor movie. Didn't really care for the second one. The third one looks like it's going to be a hodgepodge of like different superheroes all together. That seems to be the way. Like, make every movie like an Avengers movie, right, Dan?
Well, they're getting into kind of like a little bit of Planet Hulk, which I'm very excited for because it's a really wonderful story. I'm excited to see. I'm excited for this film, and I think that if the Marvel cinematic universe wants to survive and be relevant and keep up with everything, that it's got to continue to have the crossovers just like the comics have. In the comics, other characters and heroes interact with the characters all the time, so I don't think it's a bad thing to constantly be mixing things up and getting other characters in and having all that kind of craziness happen. And I think it's going to be a wonderful film. I'm super excited to see what they do with it, and I really enjoy all the Thor films. I think the second one had some really interesting stuff go on in it, and it had some great character development. So I appreciate all the Marvel cinematic films. So I'm excited to see what they do with it.
Yeah, I'm probably more excited about this than the last Thor, because the Planet Hulk story, Greg Pak, when that came out, it feels like it might have been about 10 years back or whatever, but that was like one of the really groundbreaking Hulk stories sort of out there. But it's just funny that that's going to be taking place in like a Thor movie, so that's where sort of a little the confusion and stuff like that goes. And we'll see what happens, with Doctor Strange and how prominent he's featured in this. We'll probably get like a trailer or teaser sometime soon, in the next couple months, because we want to get that hype machine sort of going. Did you see Doctor Strange? Was that a thing for you too?
I did. I enjoyed it a great deal. I thought it was wonderful.
All right, let's jump over to another big giant franchise. The Pirates of the Caribbean are coming back once again. Who knew they were still going to make some of these movies? It seemed like it was just kind of a passe thing. But Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man Tell No Tales, May 26, 2017. Of course, Johnny Depp is back. It's Captain Jack Sparrow searches for the Trident of Poseidon. Orlando Bloom will be back as Will Turner, and Javier Bardem as Captain Salazar. So, where do you stand? Are you a big Pirates person? I know, when you go to Disneyland, you're a big Disney person, Disneyland, Disney World person. How do the movies sit in your fandom?
I'm a big fan of these films, and I think Elizabeth Swann is coming back too. I think it's not just. I don't think it's just. Orlando Bloom. I think that a lot of the original cast is coming back for this one, which I think is going to just really revitalize it. And just, it's been long enough that we've seen those characters that it's going to I think it's going to bring a new, fresh, fun aspect to the movie. Quite honestly, I would be happy if they just gave me a new Pirates every 4 or 5 years. I think that they're really fun films, and they're pirate movies. It's all make believe, and it's getting more and more fantastical with these with these ghosts and these curses and these spells and these wild things that he's out searching for. And so I know how much Johnny Depp enjoys doing the character, and I know how well received it typically is. So I'm excited for it. I let him have fun, and let's keep making those movies, because I think that they all have their fun moments, and they're all fun in their own ways. So.
Yeah, they're always a big giant spectacle and fun. I think it's I think this has two directors. I didn't write their name down on my notes there, but I think they're moving into like different directors kind of working in there. So I'll be curious to see how things work cinematically. If they really go big for everything, or if there'll be some highs and lows with some emotional character moments. And we'll see. I mean, Johnny Depp's a little older now. We'll see if he can slim up for Jack Sparrow, or if he's going to be a little heavy or not. With all the pirate gear on.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be great.
Okay, so here's one. So there's the last two. I saved my hype level. I saved the last two for sort of last, and maybe Dan can chime in on which ones he's most excited about. So let's move on to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. There's my graphic. There we go. This is coming May 5th, 2017. It's a synopsis here. We don't really know a whole lot, but so far it's set to the backdrop of Awesome Mixtape Volume 2, Guardians of the Galaxy. Volume 2 continues the team's adventure as they unravel the mystery of Peter Quill's true parentage. So all the players will be back again. Chris Pratt, Zoe, some new characters, Sylvester Stallone, Kurt Russell. Where do you stand, Dan, on your Guardians of the Galaxy hype level there?
I am tremendously hyped for it. The less I know about the film, the better, I think, because I want to just go in there just totally, just jaw-droppingly excited about everything that the film has to offer, including all the new cast, the new story, the new settings. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be phenomenal. I'm super, super excited for it.
Yeah, this one is great for me. I have an image here with Rocket and Groot. So a little bit of a controversy. Some people sort of stormed the internet when they saw a lot of Baby Groot in the trailer that we have so far. Are you? Do you want to see Baby Groot? Are you? Are you in love with Big Groot? I don't know. Like full size Groot versus Baby Groot.
I think all the characters are very fun in all their different forms, and I think that Baby Groot is going to be hilarious. I think it's going to be awesome. I think there's going to be some great moments with them. I'm sure probably by the end of the film we're going to get teenage Groot. I'm sure that they're not going to keep us in the Baby Groot, but who knows? Maybe they will. I'm not sure. I'm interested to see what they're going to do.
It looks like, from what we've seen in the trailer so far, it looks like he's still killing people. So even though he's a baby, he's got sort of a cartoony voice, he's still like throwing people off of ledges, presumably dying, falling 20 feet in the air and stuff like that. So
he's a savage.
Yeah, there's no
little baby savage.
Yeah, there's no pulling punches on that. And of course, Kurt Russell will be Ego. We're not really sure if he's going to be a big giant planet or a character. We haven't seen any stuff like that. And I have Stallone on my list here. Have they announced who Stallone is playing? Is that still sort of a mystery?
I'm not entirely familiar, to be entirely honest. I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm sorry. When it comes to like rumors like that, like I try and loosely follow because I do want to be sort of surprised, with what's coming out for that. All right, and speaking of, no loose lips here, we hardly know anything, but the next up, and finally, we get Star Wars Episode VIII coming December 15th at the end of the year, 2017. So far, the synopsis for this is: having taken her first steps into a larger world in Star Wars: The Force Awakens, Rey continues her epic journey with Finn, Poe, and Luke Skywalker in the next chapter of the saga. This is directed by Rian Johnson, who made Looper and Brick, a couple of indie movies that are very clever and intelligent. So is it safe to say, Dan, that you're a Star Wars fan? Is that like
it's gonna be a phenomenal film. I'm very, very excited for it. But I'm not. There's really nothing to know about the film right now, other than when it comes out. So I'm very, very excited for it, though. I think it's going to be a really great story.
Yeah, we don't know the name of it. We just know that it's coming out, the release date. Although we do know that Kylo Ren, Adam Driver, Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, Oscar Isaac, Poe Dameron. Here's something on IMDb. We have Gwendolyn as Captain Phasma listed in the credits. So I'm curious if there's going to be, how. A lot of people felt like they maybe were cheated with Captain Phasma with The Force Awakens. What do you think, Dan? You think Captain Phasma will have a prominent role?
She was a bit wasted in the first film, but I'm sure that was just a setup to bring us forward into the next story and the following stories. And I guess every character needs a beginning, despite the fact that hers was a little bit boring. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with her.
And also new to the mix, Benicio del Toro. So I don't know if he's going to be a good guy, a villain, a great actor. I'm a little concerned with bringing too many well-known actors into like Star Wars and Marvel movies, because I need to have that like disbelief where I'm not like, oh hey, there's Benicio del Toro. Remember we saw him in this Marvel movie. Now he's in Star Wars. Does that factor in with you? Do you need to get that disbelief with newcomers, or do you want to see the big actors in there?
No, I'm sure there'll be plenty of newcomers, but there were plenty of well-known actors in Force Awakens, and I still enjoyed it just fine. I don't think that's too big of a deal for me.
All right, not a deal breaker. So okay, so cool. So this episode wound up being a little longer than I intended, but just Disney's got so many big movies that are coming out to be excited about. You guys will have to let us know in the comments below which ones you're excited about. If you know something about rumors or something like that, and you want to leave a spoiler, just put spoiler and then drop it down a little bit so we don't ruin the hype machine going into things. So Dan, so I sort of said that Star Wars and Guardians were my two. Do you have, off the top of your head, do you have a couple that stand out for you?
I don't know. I'm kind of excited for almost all of them because I'm just such a Disney movie nut. So I'm super stoked. I don't know. Don't make me pick one. I like them all.
Well, I gave you two. I was like, well, pick two at least.
Don't even make me pick two. It's too much pressure, Rob. I need to.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. I would say I'm pretty, even the documentary I'm kind of excited to check out when that comes around. So, all right, well, you guys make sure you check out Disney Dan. We got his Twitter handles there, Disney Cheats and Bricks to Life. I'll put links to his websites and YouTube channel up on the description below there. Dan, I'm pointing. You can't see me, but I'm pointing to the description box there for people to check out. So, thanks for jumping in, and thanks to all you guys and gals watching at home. Let us know in the comments below which Disney movies you're excited for in 2017 for CoinOpTV. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.